Hey guys, and welcome back. I have to admit, a lot sooner than I was anticipating making any content on YouTube, but hello. Firstly, an intro to this video. I have started this video about 4 times already, and it's gonna be waffly, okay? Because I've tried to do it in a non-waffly, concise way, but I just end up waffling. So there's a disclaimer for the beginning of this video. This will be a fairly waffly video. For those of you who don't know, I'm pregnant, hooray! Hopefully a lot of you will know because you follow me on Instagram, and I announced it on Instagram a couple of months ago now, 6-7 weeks ago. And I wanted to pop back on here and make a little bit of pregnancy content because I honestly don't think it fits that well on Instagram at the moment. My intention when I stepped away from YouTube at the end of last year was not to come back now, but it was also, I did not anticipate in any stretch of the imagination that I would fall pregnant. Literally in the weeks following filming the video where I kind of announced that I was going to leave. So it's all kind of ended up a little bit weird. I'm back, but I don't know how much content I'm going to be making. But all I can say is I've had the most incredible response to this pregnancy. Firstly, thank you so much for all of your support, both throughout taking a break and being understanding of like why I kind of wanted to do that for my mental health, and also your incredible emotional response to us announcing that we're having another baby, because it's literally been, it's so difficult because I didn't want to announce it for such a long time because I was worried that we would lose the baby again, and it got to the point we announced it around the 20-week mark once we'd had our 20-week scan. And once we got to that stage, it was just, I know we're not, you know, until I've got my baby in my arms, I won't be like, you know, hooray, we're having a baby 100%, because you just never know. But it feels like we've got to that like safe spot and we've crossed that hurdle. So thank you all so much for your amazing messages and all of your questions. So this is why I'm making this video, because when I put the announcement up saying that we were pregnant, I got so many questions, both about pregnancy, about our journey, about what's been going on, and I thought that's probably the best way to kind of make this video, because otherwise it's just going to be me majorly waffling, because it has been a while since we caught up like this, a while. And to be honest, I wanted to make a YouTube video because this type of content, I don't know whether necessarily fits that well with Instagram. I'm also very aware that this type of content is not what some people want to see if they're currently struggling with stuff, and it's easier to avoid on YouTube. On Instagram, if you put it on stories or on your feed, it kind of often will pop up, and I've been there. Like I literally have been that person that has seen, you know, that kind of content and been upset by it. Not necessarily upset by, you know, pregnancy announcements and things in terms of I'm happy for the other people, but it does take its toll when you have been trying for a baby for a long time. And we, in comparison to a lot of people, we weren't trying for as long at all. But it is like emotional to see, and I'd prefer this content to sit here so it's a bit separate, if that makes sense. Obviously there's still some pregnancy and baby content on my account because you can't like avoid being pregnant, and you also like, it's what I'm going through in my life and I share my life. But in terms of this really focused like baby stuff, I'm gonna put it here. I've also had so many requests for different videos. I made so much pregnancy content with River, both about like what I was buying and reviews and things like that, and I've had so many requests to do that type of content. I'm not sure whether I'll do as much this time, because I've done all of that before, if you know what I mean, and it seems a bit repetitive, but we'll see what happens along the way. But this video is going to be a little Q&A once I've stopped waffling. Like I said, I was going to waffle. But yeah, firstly, just to say thank you for your amazing support, your messages, your love, and just everything. And from Mike as well, because obviously it takes 2 to have a baby, but it's on my account, so you know, I feel like I was the one that was reading all the DMs and the messages more so than Mike. He has a quick stroll. He does have a quick scroll as well, but he does have a quick scroll sometimes and read them, and yeah, it just meant so much to both of us after having a really difficult few years in terms of that, all of that side of things. it's just been amazing to be able to share like our excited kind of emotional journey with you guys, especially after keeping it secret for so long, because I'm terrible at like keeping secrets. I just love talking about everything. I'm just like, yeah, an oversharer, hence why I ended up making videos on YouTube for so long. Anyway, firstly, also an update on how pregnant I am, and a bit of a bump update. I'm actually 6 months pregnant. I always say months because I think with weeks, you never know when you're gonna have the baby. I also don't want people to know like exactly when I'm having the baby, because I feel like it's so much pressure. It's like, when are you due? Like, what are you, like, you know what I mean? I'm 6 months pregnant, and I thought this can be my like second trimester Q&A roundup video. I'll show you my bump. I already feel like I'm gonna, also my leggings are like falling down. I already feel like I'm so much bigger than I was with River. I don't know if it's in my mind. But yeah, here's my bump. Looks quite bumpy today. And also to update you all, if you missed, this is what I look like from the front. I'm gonna pull the leggings up. If you missed my, what was I gonna say? If you missed my gender reveal, it's also a boy, which is very exciting. We announced that on Instagram this week. Like, honestly, we were not expecting it to be a boy. For some reason, especially Mike has always just been like, he's always got comments from people being like, you're just destined to be a girl dad. You're just gonna be a girl dad. Like, you're gonna have all girls, be surrounded by women, and it's a boy. Mike was so excited. River was devastated for about an hour. I actually filmed her response, which I'm not going to share because I feel like it's probably a bit much for her. Like, I feel like it's like, she probably wouldn't want me to when she's an adult. When she has a brother, her brother would be like, but she was devastated. She really, really wanted a sister, but now she's so excited and she's so loving. She like cuddles my bump and kisses my bump. She's like, mummy, mummy, I'm gonna be the best big sister ever, and when he wakes up in the night, I'm gonna go and get him and bring him to you, and I'm gonna help change his nappy. And like, she's so into it, which like is a real plus point, because we initially wanted a much smaller age gap, and that was something that we'd kind of like hoped for and planned for. And when that didn't happen, it's actually like a real silver lining that I think it's going to be an amazing age gap. It's going to be 4.5 years, but I really think River is just going to be the sweetest big sister ever. Anyway, let's get into the Q&A. So the first question is, what are the differences and similarities between the two pregnancies? To be honest, aside from that anxiety, because with River, I went into pregnancy just like really naive. We got pregnant immediately. I didn't even, like, miscarriage wasn't even really on my, obviously it's vaguely on your radar, but it wasn't like something that I was really particularly concerned about. This time around, we were even more excited because it had been so long, and like obviously anxious because we'd lost babies in pregnancies in the past, and apart from that, not that dissimilar. I was knackered in the beginning, absolutely exhausted, and I felt queasy but not overly sick. I'm really lucky in that sense. I don't get really, really sick in early pregnancy. I feel queasy, but I'm never like physically sick, and that was the same for my pregnancy with River and my other pregnancies in between, because obviously I did that first bit as well a few times in between these two pregnancies. Yeah, I'm quite lucky in that sense. In terms of everything else, I've still had a bit of pelvis pain, which I had with River as well, but nothing terrible, nothing that I need to have physio for or wear like a support belt, but a bit of discomfort. The differences with this one, I feel like I'm bigger. I got bigger faster, which is really, really normal. I was also put on hormones early doors to help try and prevent miscarriage. And I felt like that made me feel really bloated and gain weight in the beginning, more than I did with River, which was around Christmas. So I just felt like I looked like I'd just gained a bit of Christmas weight. But yeah, I got a bump quicker, and I definitely think my bump is bigger this time. I'm not saying it's like enormous, but it's bigger than it was last time. I've got a lot of friends who are pregnant this time around, I didn't have any friends that had babies at the same time as River, really, any close friends. This time, 2 of my best friends are having babies at the same time, like a month or 6 weeks and 2 months before me, and I feel like I'm nearly as big as them, which is fine. But I'm also a lot shorter, and I think that's like, you know, it just comes out. My legs, my thighs have definitely got bigger as well in this pregnancy. And I've also experienced a bit more swelling. So like my feet and ankles, if I'm on my feet all day, like when we were in the States and we went to Disney and things like that, if I was on my feet all day, by the end of the day, like my ankles and my feet would be a bit swollen, which I didn't experience with Riv till right at the end. And that was at like 5 months. Apart from that, nothing else too major. Similar kind of cravings. Oh, the other difference is with Riv, I had massive food aversion to meat. I couldn't look at raw meat. It would just make me like raw. And I haven't had any food aversions with this one except for truffle. In like the first trimester, I didn't like the smell of truffle. I didn't want truffle. Whereas now I feel like I've got cravings. I definitely like crave oranges, watermelon, fruit, smoothie bowls, things like that, which I very much craved with Riv as well, oranges and watermelon especially. But yeah, other than that, fairly similar. Someone said, how long have you been trying to get pregnant? Best wishes to you and your family. So we started trying coming up for 3 years ago now, so it was 2.5 years trying to get pregnant with this little one, and now obviously 6 months in. So yeah, our initial age gap that we wanted was 2 years, and it's going to be 4.5. So not like the longest time. A lot of people try for babies for, you know, years and years and years. So it hasn't been a smooth journey for us, because it hasn't been one of straight, you know, recurring miscarriage or infertility or health issues. It's been kind of a mixture of all three. So to give you like in a nutshell of our kind of journey, I had 1 miscarriage, which was a miscarriage. Then 6 months later, I fell pregnant again. Then had just a straight normal miscarriage. That was in the middle of lockdown 1. And then found out, I paid privately to get some blood tests to see if there was an issue causing them, because with the NHS, they usually say have 3 before they'll kind of investigate for you as to why it's happening. So I paid to have some blood tests done, and they actually found out I had a thyroid issue, which I've had issues with my thyroid before when I was pregnant with Riv. It's very like linked to pregnancy, and I also have issues in my family, so I wasn't surprised by that at all. It then took about 6 months to get my thyroid levels where they needed to be. Then we started trying again, and then we couldn't get pregnant for 10 months. So it kind of, we were starting to go down the kind of infertility treatment route, which we'd never even had to look at before. So it's been a kind of non-straightforward journey for us, hence why we didn't go down the IVF route straight away or other things. It's kind of like, it started off as one problem, then turned into another one, then turned into another one. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell, along with a few other things, a few other health things along the way, but that is kind of our journey. What's in your hospital bag? I haven't even thought about that yet, if I'm honest. We're 3 months away. Maybe, should I be packing a hospital bag already? Goodness. I feel like I will probably do that video when the time comes, if you guys want to see it. It's been that long. I feel like people are like, now you've done it like once already. I feel like it's nearly 5 years. So it's been so long, I can't remember. I have to watch my old videos and see what I took. Are you taking extra supplements and eating more food as a vegan mama? I'm actually not vegan anymore. I haven't been vegan since I found out about my thyroid issues. I stopped eating vegan then because I cut out soy along with a few other things that are not, or linked to kind of not healthy thyroid function. I eat about 50-50 vegan and like meat eating diet now. I would say I eat mostly fish and chicken though. I eat very, very minimal red meat. Am I taking, so I've been taking prenatal supplements for the last 2.5 years because they recommend you take them whilst you're trying for a baby. So when I had my levels done when I got pregnant, my like all my vitamin levels were like super good because I've been like really, really strict on taking my vitamins for the whole entire time. So yeah, I'm taking supplements and eating as well as I can, but cravings. Luckily most of my cravings have been fruit, but a lot of sweet stuff I've craved this pregnancy, actually, like fruit and like naughty sweet stuff too, but I've been trying to be good. But yeah, dessert's been on the menu more often than it normally is for me, let's put it that way. Where's the best place for maternity clothes? You know what, I've actually been trying to limit how many maternity clothes I buy this time, because I feel like they do have such a short shelf life, and I feel like since I was pregnant with Riv, I have such a different kind of outlook on sustainability and shopping that I'm trying to fit into A, a lot of the maternity stuff I had with River, but B, into my normal clothes. And actually a lot of the, you know, like the elasticated waistband dresses that are super in now, like I'm so glad they're in because they still fit. I will say the leggings I'm wearing now are Spanx. The Spanx leggings are amazing. Absolutely love them. And the Spanx tights, so good. But I'll definitely do a video if you guys want to see it about like my favorite maternity kind of essentials and things like that. I feel like I've only really just started having to properly wear anything other than maternity tights and leggings, because it's got to the point now where like my bump is that big that some of my stuff is not, and jeans obviously, is not fitting. So like t-shirts and things like this is a maternity t-shirt that I had last time with River. I'm 26 weeks and currently dying from acid reflux. Any experience or tips with this? I'm sorry, I can't help you with this. It's not something that I suffer from. It's something my sister had really badly. She actually got prescription medication from her doctor though, I know, which was much better than like just having the off-the-shelf stuff. So it might be worth definitely talk to your midwife or your GP or whatever. Did you end up doing IVF? So happy for you. No, we didn't, and feel very so lucky that we didn't, both for our hearts and our wallets. But yeah, we didn't have to go down that road in the end, and it was something that we were literally like 6 weeks away from IVF. Like we'd been for an initial consultation with a fertility doctor to kind of like start the ball rolling, and we were going to start in January. So very feel so lucky that we didn't have to go down that road. Are you nervous about the newborn stage again since it's been a while? Yes, so nervous. I feel like I've forgotten everything. I think it will come back. I'm hoping it will come back. But I definitely feel like the technology has changed so much. Like there's so many things that weren't around when I had Riv that are now like amazing. Very excited to try those, but very nervous about the kind of newborn stage. How are you preparing Riv for a baby? I really don't think she needs that much preparation. It's funny, someone said to us the other day, like, oh, so are you, what's the gift that you're giving her when the baby arrives? Like, are you giving her a present? Which is something that a lot of people who have like toddlers, when the baby arrives, the baby brings a present for the toddler. And I was like, the baby is gift enough. Riv's been literally, she's like, mummy, I want to be the first one to hold the baby, okay? Before you and daddy, it needs to be me. I was like, Riv, I don't think they're gonna let you in for that experience. But she really, I don't think she needs it. She's just like, I hope, she's just, yeah, she is so excited. I think she's more excited than the rest of us. Probably not, but how did you get on traveling while pregnant? Okay, I wore flight socks. I've flown a few times because we went to the States and then I went to Portugal a couple of weeks ago. So I've done like one long haul flight, which we were lucky enough to be business class on. So I wasn't too worried about that. And then the other one was short haul, but I wore my flight socks for the duration and drank loads of water, and got a note from my doctor basically saying that I'm fit to fly, even though I was before the technical dates, because my bump looks bigger. See, I feel like some people at like 4.5, 5 months would be able to cut, or it was actually 5.5 months when we went to the States, would probably be able to like get away with not being asked if they were pregnant, if they were wearing certain clothes, whereas I was like, had a big bump and was obviously pregnant, so I made sure I had like the paperwork for that. Other than that, fine, just, yeah, keep up and down moving on the flight, drink lots of water, flight socks, and just kind of be sensible. Okay, last question, because I've got to go and pick up River from school. How do you cope with body image? Currently 33 weeks and struggle every day. I have to say, this is something that I like pendulum swing on. Some days during pregnancy, I feel so confident and just really like, just, you know, like I love my bump and I'm just so like, yes, it looks amazing. And other days I really struggle with it, and I think, God, you know, I'm gaining too much weight too early, and like I think that's really natural because your body is going through such massive changes, and we've been so conditioned as women that gaining weight is bad in our mind as young women. It's like ingrained in you from such an early age that that is a negative thing. So I just try and embrace it. If I'm having a bad day, I'll try and wear like the clothes that I'm most comfortable in and that make me feel as good as I can. I know I'm going through a stage at the moment with maternity jeans where I try them on and I think I look awful, so I just avoid them, and I know I won't have like that issue with them, if that makes sense. And then other days I'm totally fine. But yeah, it is really difficult, and as somebody who's had kind of body image issues, I think most women at this point in time in their 30s will have had body image issues at some point in their life, but I'm not gonna lie, it's hard sometimes, and I found it harder. I don't know if it's like hindsight and I'm looking back with rose tinted glasses, but sometimes I do think it's harder this time than last time. But actually I think I really struggled last time. Mike seems to think like, he's like, you did struggle with this last time. He was like, I remember you saying to me the same thing last time, and you look amazing, and it's all in your head, you need to just embrace it. Mike's actually like the best cheerleader ever for stuff like this because he's just so positive and so supportive. But yeah, it's a struggle, I have to say. I do follow a lot of kind of body positive Instagram accounts now, which I think helps as well because it normalizes seeing like like kind of beauty standard bodies, which I think helps when your body is massively changing. But it is, you know, you're gonna have to kind of learn how to navigate it because it is a huge change that we're kind of conditioned against, if that makes sense. Even though it's the most natural thing in the world for your body to go through pregnancy, like we are conditioned that gaining weight is a negative thing. So yeah, I think following lots of other pregnant people as well is like really helpful because you're like, oh, how do I like dress the bump? Because that is the thing. Like, how do I, you know, do that? And like, what's the best way? And what are the, you know, some tips for making things fit for longer and etc. Anyway, I've got to go now because I've got to go and pick up River from nursery. Otherwise I'm going to be late. But thank you for all of your love and support over the past few weeks. Let me know what, if any, pregnancy content you would like to see on YouTube. I just thought I would hop on and do a little bit of a catch up. I don't know how often I'll be back here. At this point in time, I'm still not going to be vlogging because that's just not something that I feel like ready to jump back into yet. Pregnancy content, watch this space. Beauty content, maybe, although I'm really enjoying doing that on Instagram. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Lots of love. Bye.